Hi everyone, welcome to the community classroom. We're going to be addressing the word Hebrew. There is quite a bit of discrepancy with respect to this name Hebrew or this word Hebrew. And this discrepancy revolves around the origin of the name, the usage of the name in terms of what people are identified by this name. And so when you look at Genesis 14:13, when this word appears, you see in the KJV that it says, "And there came one that had escaped and told Abram the Hebrew." And so what individuals typically understand this to mean is Abram the Aber or the Eber or the Heber, related to Abram's ancestor. However, there is a translation that is earlier than the King James. There are a couple of translations earlier than the King James that suggest that this word Hebrew means something else, or that the original word might have been replaced with Hebrew. It's not completely clear, but what is clear is that this word that goes there where Hebrew goes, it may mean something other than descendancy, ancestry. And this is important because a number of people are identifying themselves as Hebrew. Not only are they identifying themselves as Hebrew, they are using the word Hebrew as a qualifier, as an adjective, to describe the type of Israelite that they happen to be. And they use the words together with Hebrew, Israelite. And so when you use words together like that, you are saying this is a type of Israelite. Now it's unclear what the other types are, however, but that is there. So let's just quickly look at what we have here in terms of this other meaning of this word Hebrew, or the word that goes there in place of Hebrew. And this is the passage coming out of this other translation. And what you see in the background is what is known as Abram's oak. This is interesting because there is so much symbolism related to oak trees, and there seems to be some sort of religious significance and reverence in relation to this particular tree. And so this brings up a totally different question about the role of Abram and the elevation of this tree, not only with Abram and in this context, but you have some other entities that revere the oak tree. And this includes people who are in those British Isles. And so here we have in the Coverdale 1535 version of the Bible, this translation, and it identifies Abram by a word that is very difficult to trace. However, what this word appears to mean is alien. And so it says Abram the alien, essentially, versus Abram the Hebrew. So this gives another understanding to the word Hebrew. Now, there are instances when Hebrew is understood as meaning on the other side or in another direction, across the water. So there have been many ways of people understanding this word Hebrew, in addition to suggesting that it is related to Abram's ancestor. However, here you see this identifier suggesting meaning alien, and that actually fits in the context of this particular passage. Now the question is, what is the implication for this name or this word being used to describe a group of people, because you have people referring to themselves as Hebrews? And so if Hebrew really is meaning alien or stranger or foreigner, what does that mean for the identity of the people who are using that as their identity. And these are just some other versions in terms of translations before the 1611 King James, and you can see three different words for Hebrew. You have one with Hebrew with a Wycliffe in 1382. Another thing that's noteworthy with respect to this passage is the inclusion and the exclusion of the word oak. This is important because the oak tree has significance in terms of religious traditions and all sorts of spirituality paradigms. However, in this instance, it's being tied directly to Abram. And again, there is this tree known as Abram's oak. And so that is definitely something that individuals might want to explore, particularly since you have this word oak being removed in some instances and included in other instances. And the question is, why is that? And here you can see some more instances where that word that is used that suggests alien, you can see it in other instances and in other versions, other earlier versions, where this word is being used. And so you see Bishop's Geneva, the Great Bible, and Matthew's Bible. And as your food for thought in terms of that word Hebrew, you here have this discussion in terms of etymology about what that word alien is all about. And it is basically a stranger, a foreigner, someone who is not in their own home. And then you see that word beyond, which is what some individuals suggest Hebrew means. Remember, knowledge is power. Take care. See you soon.